All right, welcome you guys to the workshop this morning. And real quick, let me get over here so people can see me. Hi, hello. All right, so I'm going to introduce you guys, Mr. Cole Gonzalez. Real quick around the room, we've got Tim Lazo, who's 3 weeks in a row over 1,000. We got Michaela. She had a couple weeks in a row over 1,000, but she left, and now she's back to get back in action. Jason, who last summer, in fact, you started your first day out of training was today, last year.
No.
Well, not the date, but as far as the week calendar, it was a Friday, right? And it was been right before the conference, right before SC1. So he's a 10K fast starter.
Okay.
He went to the conference in the middle of his fast start and went crazy. After that, and this is Peyton. Peyton Carey is number 1 in our office for the year. New person in the office for the year and for the summer. This is Lembo. He's PR of Peyton. These are both the Servite boys. So,
oh, nice. On Latter Day. So
yeah. So I don't know. Okay, and this is Eric with the Beckman. Okay. And then this is Luke. Okay, Luke Solis, otherwise known as Luke Skywalker, otherwise known as Luke Jaywalker.
All right.
Okay. All right. So I asked Cole, and by the way, Cole's a super busy. Hey, Kim. Good morning. Pull the chair right over here. Cole's a super busy guy. He's obviously got some big goals. He's working really hard to try to be an All-American. He had a little over $9,000 last week for the first full week of the push period. He also, when did you have a bodybuilding competition you've been training for?
Yeah.
And when is that?
September 7th.
September. Okay. Yeah. So that takes, I mean, how many hours a week do you spend
a lot
on training on that?
I mean, at least
20 hours a week or more?
Probably more.
At least, 20, 30 hours a week. So has to be super disciplined and be able to do all that as well. And I asked him a few specific questions to talk about. And oh, by the way, just almost 60,000 in sales, just over 50,000. Or 58,000 in sales. Started last year. Had you started at this time last year? Or
yeah, about this time.
Sorry about this time last
maybe
year.
Maybe a month from now I started.
Yeah, okay, a month from now. You didn't start till end of July?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. So there you go. So let me go back to, here we go. All right, so some of the questions that I asked Cole to talk about, and what Cole's recently started doing, I was talking to his manager, he's recently started doing his first attempt to close always on the ultimate set. Okay, so it's a thing called just the ultimate close. So a question I asked was, why do you like closing on the ultimate set, and how has that affected your average order size and your closing percentage? So just start with that.
Well, yeah. So when you start with the ultimate set, basically, like, even if they don't end up buying the ultimate set, obviously the more times that they do say no, they're closer to saying yes. So by the time I ask for even for the homemaker, which is what we're usually taught, just to first ask for the homemaker, they've already said no, maybe like 5 to 8 times already. So they're already going to be closer to saying yes. And when you show them that, and I actually have a price comparison, which I'll show you guys, which is, it's a little bit more. It's for one of the bigger sets for Shun. It's like $5,000, but it's basically comparable to our homemaker, but it's so much more expensive. So even when I start with the ultimate, that's like $29.29 with steak knives, I believe. And I compare that to the Shun. So that's $2,000 less. And by the time I get to the homemaker, that's just $1,200 compared to $5,000. Like, it's a no-brainer for them. So that's definitely.
Okay. So you've seen your average order size go up?
Yes, definitely gone up, especially in the last week. Just when I just started this with Chris, like, we rearranged my blue book, and it's definitely made my order size go up.
Okay. All right. So what kind of things do you do before the closing that helps to set up the ability to do the ultimate close? Does it have to do, are you working on getting more qualified referrals? Do you say anything on the phone maybe that might change that? Anything you say at the beginning of the demo?
Honestly, I think it all starts with rapport and just like building that relationship with the customer, because in order for them to even buy a bigger set, they have to trust you. Because when you're selling a product, whether it's like knives or anything in life, like, if you know in sales, you're not just selling the product, like, you're selling yourself as well. So they need to be able to trust you for sure. And then another thing that I really like to do is like really downplay like the table knives and talk about the steak knives, so they're already inclined to buy a bigger set. I mean, don't like say our table knives are bad, but just be like, yeah, what 95% of our customers actually do, they actually love the steak knives, and that's what I find a lot of my customers love. So then they're already thinking, okay, I want the steak knives, and those are already in the bigger sets. So that means they're already going to buy at least the ultimate or signature.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So that's good for you to set up. As you were talking, another question came to mind, and then I forgot what it was. But I'll try to think of it. Anything you can think of differently on the phone? Same phone approach? You just
Honestly,
start
yeah,
with
same. I just follow the script. I mean, I try and keep it a little more personal, but like the general script, that's what I follow.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. You said it's all about rapport. How long do you spend building rapport? Like how long are you talking to the customer sitting in there, being in their house before you actually open up your Blue Book and set it up like this?
Oh, I mean, I probably spend like 10 minutes just talking to them, just like about asking questions about like their family, about like if they have kids in college, anything like that, what's going on in their life. Like it was 4th of July, so like what are they doing for 4th of July, things like that. And then as I continue to ask those questions, I begin to like start to set up, but I'm not like not talking to them when I set up and making it like awkward and having like a 5-minute awkward silence when I'm trying to set up. So I'm continuing to like ask questions until I set up. And even when I'm set up, I'm still asking questions until I feel like it's the right time to be like, oh, okay, so have you even like heard about this company before? And that's usually what I start with. And then I know like if they have the knives or if they've even heard about it.
Okay, that's great. Do you call it the ultimate set or do you call it the complete set? I know that people do different things.
I call it the complete set because the ultimate sounds a little like too big. But if you just say complete, I mean, it sounds like, okay, this is the set I need.
Okay.
It's complete.
So at the beginning of the demo, before you even get the names and uses, is there anything you do dramatically differently that might help them be more inclined to lean towards something bigger, or is it just all the same up until the names and uses and clothing?
Yeah, it's about all the same, honestly. I follow the manual like word for word. I pretty much have everything memorized like word for word. And then as I get into like when I'm saying the names and uses, I obviously talk about the other ones too and show them those. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's probably the only different thing, to be honest.
So do you use your training manual though? You still keep it out to follow the outline, or do you just go from memory?
I usually go from memory. I'll have it down in case, just to like flip over, because I like to follow the knives. Like I don't have it all memorized, like the knives that I pull at the same time, because obviously I have to show the other ones too. So sometimes I'll glance down it, but basically all it's memorized. Okay. Yeah.
But you keep your training manual out when you do the demo, or does your training manual put away?
It's out.
It's out.
But usually it's like, it's not for them to be seen. Like if I have it, it'll be like this, or it'll be like behind the Blue Book, and I'll just glance down at it and talk to them.
Okay, yeah, of course. That's how we typically have people do it. Mm-hmm. Okay, now it says here you have adjusted your Blue Book. Do you want to, what do you think is pertinent as far as at the beginning? Do you plant seeds for good recommendations at the beginning or anything like that?
Not specifically, honestly. I usually just focus on recommendations at the end. I mean, unless I build rapport with them and I find out something about like one of their friends that inclines me to ask them about like more about them. Mm-hmm. But other than that, the one thing I do say is like, in the beginning, you say like, I only work through referrals, so hope you like me and Cut going after referrals to some of your friends. Okay, so they already know about referrals, and then if anything ever pops up, I just kind of dive into that a little bit more with them.
Okay, great. All right, so why don't we get down to any sections that really you think help set up the close, like probably the names and uses. Mm-hmm. Why don't you just like explain your philosophy for the names and uses, and then just kind of role play how you go through and tell us what you cut. Mm-hmm. In your demonstrations, and kind of you can even interact with Luke. Okay. Luke will be your Mrs. Jones, because we don't do dudes. Dudes are doo. So we do Mrs. Jones, or maybe Luke will be Mr. and Mrs. Jones. He can be both, because he can be both.
Okay.
All right. So why don't you talk about that?
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I obviously tell them like one thing I don't say, I have it crossed out here, but I say like you can definitely buy pieces. Like I completely cross that out, because you never want to implant that in their mind that they can buy pieces. So I'm sure most of you guys are saying that, and I was saying that up until like last week. But then I talked to my manager, and he's like, don't even say that, because you're just letting them know they can buy pieces, and they might already be thinking about that. So just literally cross that out and don't talk about that. So the first thing I'll say is just like, okay, so our most popular set is actually the complete set. So what that starts with is your paring knife, and then I'll go ahead and show them the paring knife, and then I'll kind of go through that. And then something that I learned also within the last few weeks, I'm not sure if you taught this at all, but it's to actually ask a lot of yes questions. And also to ask, another thing would be to ask them like, so one of the things, if you can tell that they're not really seeing the use out of the knife, ask them. So be like, okay, so what do you think you use this knife for? And then, so that's basically telling them, okay, that actually makes sense. That's what I need this knife for. So you want to ask them that when you can tell that they're kind of on edge about the knife, because there's definitely going to be some knives in the set. They're not going to, you'll be lucky if they see value in every single knife. Like sometimes you're going to have to convince them like, okay, this is what you're going to use it for, and then they'll agree with you. So that's one thing I like to do as well.
So if someone says, well, I'm not really sure if I'd use that one. What do? Do you like give suggestions or?
Yeah, so I'll give suggestions, like tons of suggestions. I'll tell them, okay, you can use it for this or for that. Like I ask them, what do you like to make mostly? Like, do you cook a lot of breakfast, lunch, or dinner? And then I'll kind of go off that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Okay, so why don't you, are there any key things that you do differently during the names and uses? Obviously, you said you asked a lot of yes questions and ask them how they would use a particular item. Do you do any tie downs or lockdowns? Like sometimes we'll teach people after the petite carver. So Ms. Jones, so do you think you'd be able to get some use out of this one? Right? Can you see why this one's in the set? Those are like what we call tie downs.
Yeah.
Do you have any specific tie downs like that you use, or just kind of whatever flows naturally?
Yeah, it's really whatever flows naturally. I mean, one thing that I pride myself on is being able to read the customer, and I can probably 90% of the time I can tell like if they're interested in that knife or if they're not interested in the knife, and that's kind of how I play off it. I mean, that's going to be the best part. I mean, the best thing for you to do when you're doing like this whole presentation is being able to read the customer and just going with them, because as you guys know, like no customer is going to be the exact same. So you need to be able to read them.
Do you have specific things you cut with every single knife that you're showing, or do you have just a few specific things that you do cutting with?
Yeah, so I always bring the carrot, and then I bring like 2 carrots. So I'll obviously bring the first carrot for the peeler, and that's what we're taught. And then I'll also have another carrot so they can use it on the petite chef. And then I'll have the avocado for the paring knife, obviously, and then the tomato for the trimmer. And then with the pineapple, what I like them to do, so like you have the spiky part of the pineapple here and then like the thick part here. So I'll have them cut towards the end just to like use it on the petite carver. And then I'll leave that thick part for once I get to the butcher knife, and then just like slam down on the butcher knife and let them try it too, because usually they have fun. With that big piece left of the pineapple, I'll have them use the butcher knife for that part. That's usually what I do.
All right, cool. So what else? So you cut a carrot, you cut a pineapple, what else?
Tomato and avocado.
And avocado.
Tomato for the trimmer.
Okay, and you use the avocado, use a spatula spreader or use the paring knife?
I use the paring knife.
The paring knife?
Yes.
And how do you explain to me how you cut it with the paring knife?
Oh, so I give it to them, obviously. I let them do all the cutting. It's not me at all, as far as the fruit or the vegetables. So I give it to them, and then I just say, so go ahead, just like you normally pare avocado. Usually they know how to do it, but if not, I'll kind of guide them, and I'll just have them pare it like all the way around with the seed. So just if it's like this, then you go all the way around like that.
Okay, are they just taking off the skin, or are they cutting it in half?
They're cutting it in half.
Cutting it in half.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, straight through. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we could use a spatula spreader for that too. And then you can use a spatula spreader to scoop it out of the shell there too. All right, awesome. So pineapple, avocado, tomato, carrot. That's it mainly?
2 carrots.
The 2 carrots.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, obviously, we know the names and uses on the are there on the homemaker pieces. You said you rearranged your blue book. So why don't you get to how do you introduce all those other items in the blue book? Do you call them something? I mean, how do you get them sold on the other, like the cleaver and the party slicer and all those other ones?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll usually tell them, so I told you right now, I just purchased all the other ones through Vector, and I'm going to have them shipped out to me so I can complete the set. So I only have the homemaker on me right now. So I tell them that. So I'll show you guys real quick. Or should I show them how I rearranged the whole blue book real quick before we even do that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So you guys see, so I always I have the thermometer right there for the push.
Tell us your goal. How do you explain your goal for the push? Just share that with us.
Okay, absolutely.
Good nugget.
You guys can see that. Yeah, so after I'm talking about, I love to talk about the scholarship a lot because I am really trying to win that. So I definitely invest a lot into that. Then after I do that, I tell them also the reason I've been wanting to see you so bad is I'm actually in this huge contest right now. So you can see it says it right here. So SC1. So it's called Summer Conference 1. So it's basically it's our first push of the summer. So it's 16 days. So basically we're on I believe the 10th day or so right now. I'm under a little bit under 11,000. So I'm kind of on track to do it, but I don't even want to hit 16,000. My goal is actually 20. And I just wrote some of the goals right there. So obviously through this company, I've really wanted to just build my confidence. And that's been a goal since the beginning. I've always been pretty confident. I used to play soccer, and I was actually a captain on the team, and I was confident on the field, but outside of the field, I wasn't that confident. So I wanted to have that real life confidence, and I'm still continuing to try and grow that to this day. And then here you can see family. You're probably wondering what does that mean? Well, basically I think about my family whenever I do anything. they put me through modern day and they've grown me up in a really good environment. So I definitely owe it to them to work hard and be successful. So whenever I like don't want to do something or I'm feeling down, like I know that I need to do it for my family. It's not just for me. And then I know I already kind of talked about the scholarship. So yeah, that's usually how I go through it.
That's Nuggalicious, you guys. That was beautiful. All right, awesome. Okay, go ahead and tell us
All right,
how
yeah.
you rearrange the blue book.
Okay, so and then you can see here, so this is all just all the normal stuff. So right here, so the reason that we split it up, and Chris told me this, is because when you guys open the Ultimate, you probably, or the complete set, you probably think that when you open it, you're literally holding all the way here. Like that looks like so many tools. And another thing I learned is that don't say pieces, say tools, because when you say pieces, it makes them think that they're gonna buy like pieces instead of, if you say tools, it just means like knives. But basically you'll see this looks much smaller. So this is the Ultimate here. So these are the knives I have. And then this is the rest of them. So that obviously looks like way smaller if you have it on 2 pages than just pulling it all the way out. So there's the Ultimate right there. And then there's the price comparison I was talking about if you want to look. So that's the bigger Shun set. It's $5,000, 23 pieces. And that's the one I compare the Ultimate to. And I can literally compare the Homemaker to that one as well if I wanted to when I drop down. And then there's just the free things that I can bonus on the set. And then here, so then I go back to here. So this is the signature. So look how much, doesn't that look like way smaller when you just go like that? Because this is the signature. So when you tell them like, okay, so if you want to, when you try and upsell them to the signature, if they're like deciding if they want to do the Homemaker signature, you just show them, oh, it's just these extra pieces right here. Like it's not that much. And the shears are included and they always get it. And then there's another price comparison and then a forever guarantee just to remind them. And then right here, this is just simply the Homemaker.
Okay.
Yeah. And just the flatware, cookware, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So do you typically do your clothes just on the Ultimate, or do you do the clothes on the whole Cutco kitchen to start?
Usually how I like to do it is I'll close them on a set, and then once I'm writing up the order and I have the credit card in hand, then I'll tell them more about like the flatware and the cookware as well. Because I want to make sure like I have that sale, because I don't want to try and sell more and then them change their mind. But when you have the credit card in your hand and you're about to put it in, you can ask them that question because they're already committed to paying.
Yeah, and you still use Rollo. You don't use a paper order form.
Yes, I use my phone.
Yeah, but no Rollo. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so why don't you go to finish up do the last part of the demo, whatever it is that you do in summary, Miss Jones, blah blah blah, and go right into the price comparison and ask for the order on the Ultimate set.
Okay. Cool. All right, so in summary, Miss Jones, let me review why so many people choose to invest in Cutco. So you're always gonna have sharp, American-made knives that are comfortable, safe, and sanitary. Also, Cutco is guaranteed to last forever, so this would be the last set of knives you ever have to buy. Also, most people who do buy Cutco, I would say all people, actually save a lot of money. So most people who actually buy Cutco definitely eat out less. So if that saves you just $60 a month, that's $720 saved a year. And over the next 25 years, I just saved you $18,000. Isn't that pretty crazy? And they're like nod or laugh. And then the next thing I say is I talk about like the sets. So there's also several reasons why customers choose sets. So they do have the right tool for the right job, and they have a built-in discount, so it's much, much cheaper. Also, they come in a blocker tray, which is much safer, which I just showed you. And they come with a free cutting board and other free stuff, which I'll get to in just a second. Also, it gets even better. We do have a 5-month interest-free investment option, so you don't even have to pay for it all today. And they're like, wow. All right, and then also, so when it comes to high-quality cutlery, just so you know, it's like anything else, Mrs. Jones. There's a wide variety of quality and prices. And Cutco is actually top-rated, so we only compare to the highest quality brands. So right here, I do have a price comparison for Shun, and I also, if we need to, I have a price comparison for Wusthof as well. Have you heard of either of them? And then they'll usually say Wusthof or Shun. I'll be like, okay. So right here for Shun, so the price for this Shun set right here is $5,048. And sometimes you can find it on sale for about $3,500. But there's some major differences between Wusthof and Shun and Cutco. So Shun right here has mostly straight edges, and those have to be sharpened constantly, which is a hassle. And they're not recommended for the dishwasher, and the warranty is on manufacturing defects only, meaning only if they mess up your knives are they gonna actually replace them or even maybe send you a new one. So in comparison, Cutco has our unique wedge lock handle, the exclusive Stay Sharp Double D Edge, that actually includes free sharpening and our 4-part forever guarantee. So most customers, past customers that I've talked to, tell me it's 10 times better than any knives they've ever owned. And just considering the guarantee unique features, I would say everyone would agree Cutco is at least twice as good as Shun. When something offers twice the quality and value and lasts forever, you probably expect it to be at least twice the price. But at twice the price, you're talking over $10,000 for one set of Cutco. And that's like a car payment. And they usually laugh again. But yeah, so as I said earlier, so our complete set plus 12, that's actually our most popular set. So that's perfect for families who cook like 3 to 5 times a week. So it has all those tools I explained earlier, plus the 12 steak knives that you really liked. And that actually includes the shears. So the great news is, Ms. Jones, it's not $10,000. In fact, it's not even the discounted price of Shun at $3,500. So the complete set plus 12 is just $29.29 paid in full. But what most customers decide to do is actually put it on a 5-month interest-free investment option. So that's just under $500 today. So basically, you pay $500 and you get to try all these knives out for free, basically. And that's not even it. We actually have a buy now bonus where if you decided to buy today, what I could do for you is I could actually, you're already getting the shears in that set, which is awesome. So what I could do for you is actually give you this matching kitchen tool set, replace the drawer full of like old kitchen tools, obviously. And then right here, you have the 4-piece entertainment pack that has those comfort grip handles that I showed you the peeler with. It's really nice. And just to kind of review over this is really popular. So you have the ice cream scoop right there. So the cool thing about the ice cream scoop, it actually melts the ice cream as it goes through the ice cream, which is really cool. And then you have the cheese knife. It has the holes there. I usually like to ask them, so like, do you know why there would be holes there? And they've never seen a knife like that. And I'll be like, no. And then I'll explain it to them. So basically, you can see the holes are there. So I'm sure you know when you cut through cheese, like it's super hard. So that'll glide right through the cheese. And then right here, you can see the pizza cutter. Everybody loves pizza. So, Ms. Jones, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Would you like to try out your complete plus 12 set today? And that's usually how that's how I finish.
All right, so you ask them, and obviously not everybody buys that
No,
set.
of course not.
Okay. So what happened? So that sounds really great, Cole. I mean, I really like it, but wow, I really had no intention of spending anything close to that kind of money on knives today.
Yeah. So would you say your main concern is probably like the amount of money it's going to cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the cool thing is I can actually save you money as well, because it didn't really seem like, Miss Jones, I know I was talking about the free gifts. That didn't seem to excite you too much, but I'm sure I could also save you money as well. So let me go ahead and call my manager, and we have a really cool deal going on known as the trade-in special. And I could probably give you that deal or even better, but let me go ahead and call my manager and see what I can do. How does that sound? Is that all right?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Okay.
And then if they say no, or what would be your next suggestion?
Then you call, and what happens when you call, and what do they say?
So then I would like call my manager, and I would do the trade-in. So that would save them like $500 on that ultimate set. Okay. Because they're getting most of the steak knives free. Right. And then.
So what do they usually say when you say call? Is it okay if I call my manager? Do they say okay?
They always say okay.
Yeah, okay.
Be like, do you mind if I at least just call my manager real quick and ask them what I can do for you? And they're like, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because you ask with a lot of confidence, because I know some reps ask for that in a very wimpy way. And says, no, that's okay. You don't have to do that. Right. And it's because of the way that the rep is asking. Yeah, you want to get that done. Okay. So you get the trade-in special, brings the price down too.
And then after I do the trade-in special, if they still say no, I'd say, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I usually don't do this, but since I know that the price is definitely a concern, so I'm going to actually save you that money too. And I'm going to give you a free gift. So which gift do you want out of these? Which one do you see yourself getting more use out of?
Okay, so you do the trade-in, and on top of that, you add in either the kitchen tool or the entertainer pack, or the garden tool. Okay, all right, and then let's say, well, it seems like this is like way too big of a set. I mean, I don't know, and it's still. It's still $475 today. That's kind of a lot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's no worries. I mean, I just want to give you the best deal, and I can definitely show you a smaller set. So the next set that's a little bit smaller than that is actually known as our family set. So what's included in the family set, you can see the pieces right here that I just showed you. And then the pieces, like the other pieces that you'd be getting are actually these ones right here. So you can see right here, the 5-inch Petite Santoku. So what that is basically, it's just like a smaller chopper for the smaller jobs. I know most people tell me that they would like to have like a large chopper and a small one as well. So that's why we include that in the set. And then you actually have the traditional cheese knife. And I know I kind of touched on what you'd use that for. And the nice thing about this set, it actually still comes with the shears. So you'd still be getting the shears. And then also you get 10 steak knives or 10 table knives. How does that sound, Ms. Jones?
I don't know how much it is.
Oh, and then I would tell them the price. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would go through that same process for that. And then if they say the same thing, I would drop to the homemaker and then go through the same thing.
So how much would that one be?
This one here, about $21.24, $21.50.
Okay. And if I did it on my payment, my 5-pay, what would that be?
About $3.70.
Is it a family set with, is this with steak knives or with table knives?
Steak knives.
With steak knives. Yeah, what the prices that you're giving, this here we have this sheet right here.
Okay, I usually have my price sheet
It
out. That's
has
why.
like the complete set on a 5-way is $641. You said it's about $500. So with tax, it's $641. Is that?
I usually say plus tax. That's why.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. When I write it down, I say plus tax.
Okay, yeah, because it's $260.
Yeah.
Tax.
That's how much it is before
this
tax.
is. You want one of these, by the way?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Help you a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So then, gosh, that seems like a lot to me. That signature or that family set there. I'm just not sure. I mean, I don't cook all that much, So what? I don't know. I think probably nothing. Probably nothing today.
Nothing today. You'd say nothing. Well, let me just go ahead and at least show you the rest of the sets, and then maybe if something catches your eye, you can let me know. Or maybe if there's something for a friend or family that you like as well, you could get that as well. But I do get paid actually to go through the whole presentation and show you everything. Okay. So would you mind if I go ahead and just show you the rest of the sets?
Sure. No, go ahead.
Awesome. So the small set, the most basic set that we do offer was this one I was showing you right here. So basically what this is here, this is the homemaker, the most basic set. So this is, it has the right tool for the right job, obviously. It has all the tools I did explain earlier, so the 10 tools I explained earlier. This actually still comes with 8 table knives. And something that I could do for you here as well, I know you're on the fence about how much it costs, so I could actually still save you money, and I could give you a free gift as well. So, and I could call my manager and see if I could give you an even better deal than that. So if I could just write this down and show it to you, and then if it doesn't interest you, would you mind if I just call my manager one more time, and then maybe we could go from there?
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, and then you would write down what they're getting and call again for the. And when you call, how does the conversation go when you call in? What does your manager say?
Yeah, so I'll just call. Usually it's my assistant manager Kenneth because Chris is busy. I'll just be like, all right, so we have a customer here. They're kind of concerned about the price. So I know we usually don't do this, Kenneth, but what I'm actually going to do for them is what I want to do, if it's all right with you, is I want to actually give them all the table knives free, and I also want to bonus them a free gift. And then I say, do you mind checking if that's all right for me to do? And then he'll be like, yeah, give me a minute. And then I'll hang up and I'll be like, okay, let's just wait for a minute. He's actually going to check in the system if that's okay for us to do for you, because usually we never give these kind of deals.
Okay, and then he calls you back?
Yeah, or he just texts me like what I should write down for them.
Okay.
Yeah, one or the other.
Cool. So how many times on a typical demo do you call your manager?
Probably twice, maybe 3 times.
At least 2 or 3. Do you always call at least once?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, even if I don't need to, it's a really nice gesture to call in and say and tell them that, you know what, I'm gonna call my manager because I'm trying to give you the best deal possible. And they respect that. They respect that you're trying to give them a good deal. Absolutely.
I preach the same thing. But somehow some people just don't feel like that's important. But I'm glad that you, who is one of the top reps, and obviously you know what you can give for free. You understand the benefit to the customer of them seeing you taking the time to do that on their behalf.
Yeah.
Super good. Good tips. All right. Let's take some Q&A then. Unless there's anything else that you wanna add in on that.
I mean, how many of you guys probably just started within the last month, would you say? Okay. Yeah, well, I just want to let you guys know, like you said, I've been doing this for a year, so I definitely have grown a lot through the process, and I've learned a lot. So if you feel like you're like not that confident right now, don't worry. Like I was in the same spot as you guys were, like not that confident, pretty fragile, like reading the script directly and didn't have anything memorized, like was shaking in my shoes when like they threw an objection at me. And you're going to learn that like through the process. Like I said, I've been here a year, so it's going to take time, but if you like put in the hard work early, it definitely pays off now, because I can work probably like, even though I'm still doing pretty well, like I can probably work like a fourth of what I worked when I first started and make like a ton more. So definitely put in the work now because it'll pay off later.
Yeah. So last week you made twice as much as most college students make in the entire summer. You made that last week.
Mm-hmm.
So putting in one entire year to learn the benefit of being able to make as much as most students make in a whole summer in 1 week, you say that's worth it to you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Of course.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Good. Anybody else got any questions? Any Q&A? Or is that anything like surprise you when you watch this, or anything new? A lot of the things you probably heard before, right? Yeah, Garrett.
So for the Blue Book, is there any papers that say complete and family set? Because I noticed on the Homemaker, there's I don't know if you know this question or answer, but
yeah.
Because I noticed it says ultimate and signature.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we're telling them family and complete,
yeah,
it kind of like contradicts when they like.
It could be confused. It doesn't contradict. He's asking.
I know exactly.
If you have that page.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I know the names are there, but that's what I tell them. And if they get confused on it, that's a good question. I do tell them that we call it the complete set now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah. And for the Homemaker, you can't even see the name. Like I just tell them it's the Homemaker. So they know.
Yeah.
Because I know you can't even, because it's covered up by the Hardy Slicer. Yeah.
Yeah, back up to that page, and I want to see how it is you put that page together.
Yeah, and I can take pictures of everything here and send it to you, so you can set them up.
We've got them on video here, but
okay.
So how did you? So you just cut that with a knife or with a scissors, and just put it over the deal. And when you go through names and uses, you basically just use this.
Yes.
Okay.
But this isn't the Homemaker that I show. This is part of the Ultimate.
Right.
And then when I get to the Homemaker, I have a page separate for the.
And so those 4 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the complete set.
Yeah, that's the complete set.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah. What's up?
Can we do like a quick names and uses, like because I know that you're upsell, like you start from the Ultimate set.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing the names and uses, what do you usually just show? Just the Homemaker, or
You do names and uses on that page you're showing right there. Like
yes.
Give us the names and uses on that.
Oh, for this here?
No, like a quick, because I know you.
Oh, you mean for the Homemaker?
Like right before you do the price comparison, you do like the names and uses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How does that usually go through? Like, do you just go through everything here and then plus the old?
Yeah. So I'll just go through that, and then I've done this. I've been doing it for a week, so I'm still like learning, and I've been asking Chris like, what are some more things I can tell him to use this for? Like the butterfly, or like the boning knife. That's really good for butterflying chicken, boning chicken, things like that. And then this one, this is the smaller paring knife, and we also have a larger one, so you can use it for like the larger paring, smaller paring.
Is that the gourmet paring knife? Is that what that?
This one right here? No, this is just the 4-inch one, and then this is just the
regular one.
This is the small one that we showed.
Oh, I see. This is 2 pages combined. This right here is from the original Homemaker set, and then this is on top of laid over.
Yes. So yeah, but what I like to do is usually I'll just go through what I have on me right now, and like I said, I'm getting all these. They're getting shipped to me right now. And then once I show them, it's obviously easier to show them when you have them on hand. But then I'll just kind of run through these and just tell them the uses for these too. And then do the same thing, like be like, what would you see yourself using this for? And things like that as well.
I see you have your knives over here. So like do the role play for like the paring knife, the trimmer, and the spatula. Just kind of do it. And I want people to see how you take them out of here and how you present them and how you show them to people. Can you do that?
Yeah, no problem.
5 minutes or so?
Yeah, no problem. Just for the paring knife, trimmer, spatula.
Yeah. Just to give an example.
Yeah, sure.
Of the flow, how you do it.
So it'll be like, and it starts with your paring knife because that's the last part of it. So this is your paring knife right here, Miss Jones. Here you go. So and then I'll give them the avocado. So here's an avocado right here. So what you're going to use that for, you can see it does not have that double D edge. So you're actually not going to use that on the cutting board. So that's just for like small jobs in the air, peeling, paring. I'm sure you're really familiar with paring avocados. So you can go ahead and try it out on the avocado. And she tries it out, and I'm like, so how easy was that? And they're like, it was super easy. I'm like, yeah, but like I said, you're actually never going to use that for the cutting board. And that's why you have your trimmer. So mine actually has a pearl handle. Which handle do you prefer between the two? They're both really pretty.
The pearl.
The pearl, awesome, yeah. So what you're gonna use that for is actually like small fruits and vegetables. This is like your utility knife. That's what it really is. So I actually brought a tomato. And Miss Jones, I like to ask, have you ever like cut a fruit or vegetable and it like splashed back on you?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel about your knives?
Terrible.
Terrible, right? Yeah, so that's never gonna happen with that knife right there. So go ahead and try it on a tomato.
And
And then
then
let's
you,
try
you
that.
have it. Do you use like big tomatoes or cherry tomatoes or
Oh, like a bigger tomato.
big old tomato?
Yeah,
Okay.
like hand size, like this size.
And you bring your own cutting board?
Yes, on cutting board.
Okay. You have it in there, or do you have it in your car?
It's in my car.
All right.
It's like the bigger, it's our bigger one.
The
the
large,
white one.
the extra large cutting board.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I
Did
said,
you say red? You have a red one?
no,
Oh,
no,
I thought you
no,
said it was
no.
red.
But like I said, that's never used for spreading or serving, and that's why you have your spatula spreader. So you can see right there, if you can hand that to me real quick, I'll show you. It actually has a wide, flexible double D edge, so you can actually use it for spreading, like in serving sandwiches, bagels, lasagnas. You can actually cut with it too. You see it has that double D edge. Yo, and this is a good joke. I know it's corny, but you should write
Do
this
it.
down.
Do it. Do it.
So go ahead and hold that up in front of you. So like, what do you see?
Myself?
I see a future customer, Miss Jones. And then they always laugh, even though it's like really bad joke.
That's a great joke.
Yeah, and that's how I go through it. And I just keep going like that. I mean, I have most of it memorized, and I'll just keep going through the knives. And then once I get to the rest of the pieces, I'll just explain those.
All right. Awesome. Anybody else got good questions? Did that help answer your question, Tim, or did you want to see the names and uses on the cleaver and all those?
Oh,
others?
no, I get it. I was just wondering, like, because for us, we're introducing the homie.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you introduced the ultimate set right off the bat with the names and uses.
Yes, I do. I do. And then you'll learn how to do this. I mean, I would ask. Oh my bad. I would obviously like study all these down here because they tell you what to do. And then I'll ask J. Brad, like, what are some more things that these can be used for? So you have more in your arsenal, but you can tell them to use it for.
Well, where I learned them was from customers. I said, Ms. Jones, I'm not a gourmet chef, and you probably cook way more than me. I'm learning to cook more, but a knife like this, what would be something you think you would use a knife like this for? Or what do people use a knife like this for? And then they'll tell you, and then you just remember the things. And then on the next demo, you say, I was just talking to a lady named Mrs. Johnson, 4 streets over, and she told me that this knife is the one that we use for blank, right? And then you're name dropping and doing name uses at the same time. Boom, nugget.
That's good.
Okay.
When you drop down to the CV, I saw next to the CV pieces, there's another price comparison.
Mhm.
Can you do another price comparison?
Yeah, I usually do. I mean, I sometimes what I like to do, I have I'll show you. So yeah, sometimes I'll just do this price comparison too. I really just have it here so they can look at it, so they can remember like the differences between the two sets.
Okay.
But what I like to do is just show them this, because usually I flip back here to the homemaker and then I'll compare it back to the first one I compared it to. Yeah.
Do you call your manager? Do you call your manager every time you go drop down, like in the trading specials?
Yeah, if I can tell they're interested and I can give them a really good deal, like, yeah, I'll always call. But sometimes you can tell, like, they're just like, no, like straight up no. They don't really want you to like call at all. Then I just won't call and I'll just drop down. And then as I get closer to them being more interested, like I'll definitely call. So usually like 2 to 3 times.
I know, like in our blue books, we have like the galley, the basement, the studio sets, and stuff like that. Do you have that in there or no?
Yeah.
didn't
So what we do, or
It's all
what?
back there, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the back here. So I'll just pull it out.
Oh,
Yeah, but I keep it back there hidden, so I don't have to pull it out unless I need to. Yeah, that's a good idea. You guys should do that, because
Yeah.
in our eyes, what in your eyes should be like your mindset should be the homemaker's a small set. Like this is a set I need to give Miss Jones
Do you normally stand during your demos?
all the time.
You did during your fest.
Yeah, I did it during my fest start.
Yeah, he was always standing up. More energy.
Yeah,
You know,
more
way
energy.
Yeah.
More energy. I've seen it done many, many ways. In fact, the best demo I ever saw was a girl named Norma Reitz Garcia, and she was the first person I ever saw that actually, stood the entire time, and she just brought so much extra energy. It was really crazy, because I was never taught to stand, or never did I stand, but I know a lot of people do.
I think it helps bring more energy, and it really like you can. I like to talk with my hands a lot, if you notice. So
Mhm.
that's why too. Like sitting and talking with my hands doesn't really
Mhm.
flow with me.
Yeah, I like it.
Plus, whenever you have to clean or do something, you're already standing.
Yeah, and you have to pull something out, or you have to grab something out of your bag. Like it's just easier to be standing, in my opinion.
What does the customer normally do? Sit, stand.
Oh, I usually have them sit,
Okay.
because I'm like, sometimes they want to stand. I'm like, trust me, you're gonna want to sit. Like,
Okay.
you can sit.
That's
gonna rock your world right here.
You'll be so fired up, Miss Jones, your knees will get wobbly and you'll faint because you're so excited with cut back.
Yeah.
All right, good. Any more questions? You guys, it's really good. I got about 10 minutes really. We could continue if you want to.
How long do your demos usually last?
That's a great question.
That's good. So yeah, like I said, I build rapport for like 10 to 15 minutes. My actual demo, I can probably get it done in 40 to 45 minutes probably. And then I'm getting recommendations for probably 15, 20 minutes and cleaning up. So maybe like hour and a half total. Yeah.
What's your longest one?
My longest one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just
So
curious.
it's actually last week. So I had this kid with special needs, super cute kid. Like he was really sweet, probably like 5 years old. And like the parents were sitting down watching it. This took like 3.5 hours, the demo, because like every 5 or 10 minutes he interrupted me and like showed me his toys or like took me into his room. So I was just working with them and just playing with the kid basically in the middle of the demo. It was pretty funny, but that was like my longest one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you do virtual demos?
Not that often, but yeah, I do them on occasion.
Yeah. So when you do a virtual, well, you probably haven't done one since you started closing on the Ultimate.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Actually, but I have one coming up soon. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Well, there's it's set up where you can skip from one slide to the next using the Google Slide viewcutco.com,
Mhm.
and it has the customer requested items. I've heard a lot of top reps will call everything that's not in the homemaker, all those other knives, they call them customer requested items, customer requested tools. They weren't in the original set, that was started in 1949. These are all things that customers have requested, and that's why we have this complete set.
Oh, okay.
Based on what customers have
That's
asked us to make. All right, very good.
You always hold it up like that as well?
Yeah, I use my fruit to hold it up. So I honestly sometimes I bring a couple extra pieces of fruit just to hold it up. But yeah, I like
So
to
you bring a pineapple to every single demo?
every single one.
Every demo brings a pineapple.
That like $10 is like nothing when you sell an Ultimate. The extra $5 you spend in the big picture,
Mhm.
it's nothing. You make that back 1,000-fold, 100-fold.
Easily,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's something about when you bring food and the customer can tell you've spent money to do this presentation. There's this sense that they kind of feel almost obligated to buy something because you spent money to come do this for them. So, I mean, even if you just sold the trimmer, you still pay for more than your fruit. Yeah. Do you ever sell one knife or two knives?
Honestly, not really. But like I'll sell like pieces. Like I just had a really weird order. They didn't want the homemaker, but they ended up getting like 20 pieces and it was more than a homemaker.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, and then another one got like the gourmet set last week. So I at least try and sell like a galley at the least.
Mhm.
And that's usually what happens. I mean, it's been probably like a month or 3 weeks ago. I had a customer who just bought like a couple knives, and that's going to happen with anyone. Like I'm not perfect either. I'm not
Somebody who already owned Cutco?
no.
Customer?
Yeah. And then so you're going to have like customers like that, and you're going to have demos like that. Like you can't close a set on everyone, or maybe you can, but there's a good chance you probably won't. But I mean, if you have the mindset to close at least a homemaker every time, that's helped me a lot too.
Does your approach differ between somebody who has heard of Cutco and like already owns it, or versus somebody who doesn't?
Oh yeah, good question. So basically I start off when I ask them that question, like when I'm about to start. So have you even like heard about Cutco? And they'll be like, or maybe before that, they already tell me that they own it. I'll definitely have them get all their knives out. So I already know. So I'm not trying to sell them something that they already have, because that wouldn't make sense. And then once I get to, once I do all the sets and pieces, and then I tell them the price, then I'm obviously not going to try and sell them a full set because they might already have pieces in that set. So
Tools, not pieces.
Tools. They might already have tools in that set. So what I tell them to do, or what I ask them, I'm like, okay, so what I do with most of my customers, I just make a wish list. So basically, if Cutco was like, if it was like raining Cutco, and well, obviously you'd stay inside, but then once it was done raining Cutco, I mean, what would you go out and grab? And then if they're already interested in the set, I can upgrade to them a set. I can give them basically whatever they want.
Okay, so you start off. So do you share your goal? Obviously, even if they have Cutco, you'd share your goal. Do you still do like the history of the company?
Oh yeah, everything is the same up until like I'm not gonna I'm not going to try and close them on everything's the same up until the close on the set, because I'm not going to try and close them on a set if they already have 3 of the knives in the set. That doesn't make sense. And one time I did do that when I was a new rep, and they're like, why do I need to get a full set when I already have them? I'm like, oh, you're right.
Well, Ms. Jones, the answer to that question is because it actually comes with a big discount when you buy it in a set. If you were just to buy the 7 items that you don't already have in the wood block, it would actually cost the same exact amount as if you got the whole set. So get the set and give those 3 pieces that you already have, give them as a gift to somebody.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah, new reps do that all the time. They'll
Yeah.
see somebody has a homemaker +8, and then they do a demo and they ask for the order on the homemaker +8, and the customer says, sure, I'll take it. And the rep's like, what? How come? Right? Says, well, I'm going to send my old set back, get it refurbished and get it all sharpened, and then I'm just going to give it to my daughter who's about to move out on her own, and then they'll have a new one for themselves, right? So it
That's a good
happens.
point.
It happens. You just never really know.
That's true.
Not trying to prejudge.
Huh.
What do you do to try to get good recommendations? Obviously, if you're selling great big sets, you're not seeing people who live, single 24-year-old people who live in a rundown apartment. I mean, who are you seeing, and how do you make sure that you are calling the people that have the means to get sets?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you said, I never prejudge. Even if it's someone, I have a story, but that's like kind of a long story. Basically, someone in Buena Park, super beat up house, didn't think they were going to buy anything, ended up getting a homemaker. So yeah, you never want to prejudge ever, ever. But yeah, I mean, once you find yourself, I mean, even if you're starting in an area that's not too well off and you're going to people who aren't too well off, I mean, there's a good chance you're eventually going to find like one person who maybe lives in like Newport Coast, or maybe lives in like Tustin Estates, or lives in like Shady Canyon. And that's the rep that you need to, or I mean, that's like the customer that you need to go like extra for. Maybe even bring them like a gift before you even do, maybe like ask the friend who referred them. So like, what did they like? Like, maybe bring them like literally bring them a gift and like show them that you care, because those recommendations that they give you are going to basically set up the rest of your career for like the network that you find. Because networking, as we were just talking about, networking is everything. So if you find yourself in a good network, like you need to invest your time to stay in that network and really show those customers and like ask about their recommendations and be like, and get deeper into them, take some notes about them. I like to do that. Just kind of like take some notes, and even if it's just mental notes about who they are, how they know them, and show that you like care, because that network is what's going to set you up.
Could you role play a phone call, like calling a referral, like call Mr. Luke,
Mr. Luke.
or say you call
Okay.
Mrs. Jones? You can just call Mrs. Jones, and I'll role play with you. Do you use do you have your script in front of you when you?
Yeah, I
do
usually
phone
have it
calls?
open on.
Open it up, and we'll just role play a phone call, and then we'll wrap up.
You said a referral.
Yeah, you're calling a referral.
Cool.
When you make calls, how many people do you typically have to call before somebody picks up their phone?
Probably like 4 or 5.
4 or 5, so you get like one pickup every 5-ish.
I would say so.
5%.
I mean, I can't give you an exact number, to be honest. It varies.
It does,
You
it
know
certainly
that.
varies.
Yeah.
Do you text them if they don't answer?
Usually I'll call once, call twice, leave a voicemail, text them saying, hi, comma, Miss Jones, ? And they always respond. So like, who's this?
Yeah, let's say who's.
And then once they say yes, like I give them a call. I don't even say why I'm reaching out, because I know they're next to their phone and they're going to pick up.
What do you say in your voicemail?
In the voicemail?
Yeah.
I'll just be like, hi, Mrs. Jones, this is Cole Gonzalez. I was actually overseeing your friend, Mrs. Jones, and she had some nice things to say about you, and I just had a quick question for you. If you could give me a call back, it'd really help me out, and then I'll leave my number. And they're like, oh, I'll give them a call back, because they're like curious. You want to leave them like curious. You want them to call, you want to say something that makes them want to call you back, but you're not giving enough information to tell them why you're calling.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So yeah, we'll go ahead and role play. Ring, 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 and I answer the phone. Hello.
Hi, Miss Jones.
Yes.
Hi, this is Cole Gonzalez. I don't think you actually know me personally, but I was actually overseeing your friend, Miss Betty, and she said that I should give you a call. Did she even get a chance to let you know I was over there?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, anyways, Miss Betty and I were talking, and your name basically came up, and she actually said you'd be nice enough to help me out. So I just graduated from Modern Day High School, and right now I'm actually working with the company to gain some business and communication skills, and it would really help my resume. And the coolest part is I actually have a shot at winning a scholarship. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
Have you heard of any programs like this before?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, basically what my assignment is to do is just to show a product to people I've been personally recommended to, and get their opinion on it. And the best part is, Miss Betty, you definitely do, or Miss Jones, you definitely don't have to buy anything because I do get paid just to show it to you. And it is a really quick and easy presentation. It takes like 30 to 45 minutes at the most. And in order to actually stay on track for the scholarship, I do need one more appointment by tonight to stay on track for that. So I was wondering if I could actually stop by tonight at 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. Which time would work better for you?
Oh, tonight's really busy to me. Now, what is this? You're selling something?
Oh, it's just stuff for the kitchen. It's nothing too crazy. It's just stuff for the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I don't know. We're really busy.
Oh, well, Miss Jones, it really takes only about 30 to 40 minutes, honestly. And I can be out of there quicker. I can actually give you the short version. And I'm really committed to my goals in getting this scholarship. So is there any way that I could maybe come by? I have another opening. I actually have 3 p.m. or 9 p.m. Which time would work better for you?
You do this at 9 o'clock at night?
Yes, it's only 30 minutes. If that time works for you, I could swing by and just do my really quick presentation.
Okay, 9 o'clock then.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Jones. This really helps me towards my goals. You don't even understand like how hard I've been working this summer, and I really appreciate you taking the time to see me, especially at 9 o'clock at night. I'll go through really quick. We can do the presentation, and then I can be out of there. How does that sound?
Okay.
All right, awesome. See you then.
Okay. And get an address and stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had probably happen 5 times this week that I've heard a rep say they didn't get the address and they just texted the customer, says, please text me your address, and the customer never texted me the address.
They never.
Yeah, you got to get the address, of course, right there. All right, good. Jason, question?
What do you do if the customer is like has to leave early or doesn't have as much time as you normally take?
When you show up, honestly, I'll just either. That's a good question. I mean, usually I wouldn't reschedule because you're probably not going to be able to see them. I would just.
Let me make sure I understand the question. So you get there at 9 o'clock, right? You start the presentation at 9:30. She says, hey, I kind of need to go.
I would just say,
Does that happen, first of all?
No, that's never happened to me personally. But the way I'd probably handle that is be like, is set up a time right there on the spot. Because this has never happened to me. This is what I would do. Is set up a time on the spot to finish the presentation. Because you're selling yourself short. If you just like, you probably wouldn't even, honestly, like, you'd probably be like, not even know what to do. You'd be like, wait, what? Like, what do I do? So I would just say, okay, yeah, no worries. Do you mind real quick? Can we just set up a time? I have about 15 minutes left in the presentation. I can let you go right now and we can just finish it up another day. And they'll probably be like, yes.
Another time.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do.
What if they say, well, can you just tell me the prices right now?
I would be like, well, I want to make sure you know everything about the product before I even tell you the prices. So let's just go ahead and set up a time for another day.
Okay, good.
So I noticed that you didn't say the product name on your telephone call.
Mhm.
So like, why do you do that? And then what do you do if they ask like specifically what is it that you're selling? Like, what's the product name?
Yeah, so 90% of the time they don't ask. Like, I'll just tell them. But if they do, I'll just say it's stuff for the kitchen. And then if they really keep asking, then I'll just tell them it's Cutco. But usually they don't. Usually stuff for the kitchen is enough to get by.
Okay, the key thing there is you said 95% of people don't ask. I don't know what the exact percentage is, but because the Kohl's confidence is there, people don't usually ask the question. If someone's very unconfident sounding on the phone, then you get a whole lot more questions, okay? Because the customer's looking for a reason probably to try to not do it, or something like that. So that's good. Yeah, your confidence on the phone is really matters. And I was never taught to say Cutco on the phone, right? I'm showing a product to people, getting their opinion on it, getting their opinion on me and how I'm doing. And I'm going to be in your area, blank time. Okay. Good. Anything else? Any other questions? All right. I got a couple of ideas or things that you might like before you leave, Cole, because I told you I'd probably try to add value to you for taking your time to be here. Let's give Cole a hand right here for taking the time this morning. Turn off this. And I know some of you guys have appointments and other things to go to. So